talked about, that paired up with high caliber, it's a one-shot headshot.
A couple of other bands coming through. Name Zeus, nameless, with the RK5. You have Ricky with the Alcon 9. And I believe the Concussion was just banned out there as well.
Yeah, so compLexity getting rid of all of those pistols. They don't want to mess with those at all.
Now as we head over to Specialist Draft, Miracles, he's going to opt for the Purifier. Jacob immediately locks in the Annihilator. The Sith, well, Scythe comes in from Slasher. Parasite goes with an Annihilator of his own. So some pretty kind of expected specialists. Anything?
Lots of weapons, not really many abilities.
Does that catch you by surprise though?
You know, a little bit. I think the Purifier is going to be perfect on this map. A lot of close quarter range for the hills. But yeah, actually all
they're all
guns.
the same.
All guns.
Yep.
No abilities.
War Machine, Purifier, Annihilator, and the Sith as well. Both teams opting for the exact same specialist. Now, of course, the player is going to have 60 seconds to edit those classes to react to any of those bans that came in. Surprised?
I am. I thought those were, somewhat different bans than what I expected. Honestly, the pros have been talking a lot about those pistols, and instead of trying to figure it out, just ban them. Get them out of there.
Just get rid of them immediately. Interesting that they decided to go to 2 bans. Could have maybe just tried to get rid of Kimbo as opposed to anything else. But you see Aches just kind of setting up one of his classes. And we'll take a quick look. It looks like it's going to be VMP. Of course, that was opted to be protected. He has the M8 there as well. In terms of the attachments you expect to see these guys use, though, we were talking a little bit about high caliber on those assault rifles. Obviously, increased headshot damage. Long barrel as well. For the first time, you can kind of rock that on an assault rifle. What do you reckon we're going to see the most, though, today?
Probably lots of quick draw, lots of grip. I think assault rifle players still going to use that stock. It's slowed down, but I still expect it. Most of them are using that online. So, and then as you could see, almost every player had Flakjack equipped. Very afraid of that War Machine. If you don't have Flakjack equipped, it's one shot and you will blow up.
You at least lead one class
yes.
with Flakjack. Although, again, we kind of talked about this yesterday as well. The War Machine Black Ops 2 score streak, you kind of had that time to change out your class when you're on the opposite team. This time, obviously, in Black Ops 3, it being a specialist, you kind of have to keep track of your enemy's score as well. Obviously, if you do get killed by the War Machine once, you can change that class as well. But I feel like it requires a little bit more mental game.
It's hard to predict when that person's going to hit that specialist.
Right.
So just to be safe, I would wear it the whole time.
Smart. Very smart man. Breach Hardpoint, map number 1, Team EnVyUs versus compLexity. I'm going to do what all casters do, and you should know it well enough by now. Who is going to win this series? Give me your best prediction.
I'm going to go Envy 2-0.
Envy 2-0. Wow, you're not giving Call of Duty any
I think if it gets
love,
to the Search and Destroy, compLexity take it. But
okay.
Envy is such a talented roster. I really do think they'll take these first 2 respawn maps.
Is that the X factor coming in?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, game number 1 underway. And speaking of Aches, I want to have a look at Aches first of all. Going to be on your screen. Has that M8 out. He's going to be trying to pick up the first kill, and does so on Ricky. Finds the second, and EMPs already being used.
Yeah,
love that.
We saw those concussions get banned out. So, obviously EMP is that other game. And again, EnVyUs do spawn closer to this first hard point, and that's why I think you'll see this early lead going towards their favor.
Aches kicking things off at 3-0. Parasite was trying to break into the hill, but no one on compLexity actually managing to pick up a kill so far. With a couple of seconds gone, that kill feed is all in favor of Team EnVyUs. Finding a little bit of a break, but look at the lead already, Merc. 33 and rising to 0. compLexity need to get things going, maybe wake up a little bit.
Yeah, and as you can see, they're already on the rotation. EnVyUs did manage to flip those spawns, and that's what they wanted to do. You're going to see EnVyUs trying to hold the back. Slasher getting a huge kill on Parasite. He's going to do his best to hold that back. But there's Miracles trying to get that anchor, but that was a huge kill again by Slasher.
Yeah, Slasher just locking down that spawn, and well, compLexity do find themselves a second of time, but immediately hardpoint broken. Nameless, he decides he wants to jump in. And going to have one more player pushing towards him. EMP is being used, picks up the first, can't find the second. Slasher now thinking about trying to push in with the pistol. He will also fall. But again, still getting that favorable spawn.
Yeah, I mean, EnVyUs are getting that spawn right near that hard point. And this hard point, you should be able to get the full time. There's only 2 doors. Your AR should be able to cover 1, and then the only thing is, if you don't have trophies on yourself, you can get naded. But as you can see, a lot of these players are rocking trophies for this hill.
Looking at time spent on hill, Ricky currently 23 seconds. TP, no surprise, currently sitting with the most time. He jumped on that first hill and jumped on that second hill as well. And Team EnVyUs starting to build themselves a big, big lead. And of course, hardpoint, a little bit different than what you may be used to. It's obviously 5 minutes as opposed to 10 minutes. And whenever someone's on the hill, time's actually going to stop now. Right. And I think that's going to get very interesting towards the later parts of games, where teams are going to have to make that decision of, do we jump on the hill and go for the points, or do we jump off when we have the lead and try and bleed that clock down?
Yeah, right, and it's going to be such a mentally tough game this year, because you could go down quick, but like 150 to 40, and some teams might give up, but with that time, there's always the ability to come back in the game and win. Well,
TP with the War Machine already. He's going to fire that one out a couple of times. He was able to pick up one that was nameless, and an assist is going to come in as well. Flak Jacket, as you mentioned, being used by a lot of that compLexity squad. And you saw that kind of hit marker come straight in. EMPs again being used. Over to Parasite. He's going to be on top of this hardpoint, just barreling down shots with his M8. Nice couple of kills for him, and now he has his specialist. It's going to be the Annihilator, ready to use.
Yeah, and then teams are already starting to rotate towards that nice hill. Slasher again, getting to that back area where he wants to go. Nameless is in the nice hill, so this is going to be a huge gunfight for this spawn between Nameless and Slasher. And Nameless just got a great timing on Slasher.
Slasher with a little bit of an auto mantle there. Not sure how much of an effect that actually had on the gunfight, but he does fall. Parasite still has the Annihilator ready to go. Waiting to see if he's actually going to decide to use it any time now. Hardpoint's going to be contested, but he's more than happy to just kind of sit back and play for that spawn. Meanwhile, big gunfight's going on. It's going to be Aches pushing on with the pistol. R6, and well, that's a purifier to the face.
And again, compLexity getting the spawns that they want, and if they get this hill, they'll be right back into this game.
I mean, 102 to 78. compLexity definitely managed that comeback, considering how much of a slow start it really was. It was very concerning, and the purifier is going to be shut down. Nice play from Ricky. He's also going to get his HCXD ready to use at his disposal. Pretty surprised to see players rocking that score streak in hardpoint. It is a score streak which does take you out. Yes, you can kind of send it straight in towards those smaller hardpoints, but with the use of Flak, I don't know necessarily if that's going to be picking up as many kills as you would like.
Yeah, but what a lot of players do it now is they actually third person around corners.
Oh, sneaky.
So what they do is they just hover that vehicle right up to a door, and they're able to call out, without putting themselves in danger.
It's kind of like a portable UAV.
Basically,
in a sense,
yes.
That's how players are kind of rocking it. Staying with Ricky, he's actually going to earn all his streaks. Has Lightning Strike and Hellstorm Missile available, and compLexity are going to go into the lead. Now he's going to drop that Hellstorm down. Has a couple of players. Is he going to cluster it? Yes, he does. Picks up 2. Does get shut down, but still, remember, the Lightning Strike available to use. Ricky now, his score at 13 and 10, a minute and a half of hill time. Definitely been a factor towards those score streaks.
Yeah, Ricky's obviously playing super well, and he's holding this outside area. And, compLexity's doing a great job holding these spawns for this lab, or what people call computer hill. So, this is another hill that, compLexity can get a lot of points on.
Over to Parasite now. Still, Annihilator ready to use. Just a matter of when he's potentially going to use it. And Murky's had this for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think he's actually going to pull this one out?
I'm hoping this nice hill. I think this nice hill would be great for it. Maybe he'll be able to get a break with it. But on the other side, I'm really looking at JCap right now as he's 4 and 15. And we talked about him using that Pharaoh. And now that it's banned out, maybe that's affecting him quite a bit.
Fair point. Parasite actually killed by JCap's Annihilator. Have to ask the question of when he's going to actually use it, because when you think about it, the longer he doesn't use it,
right,
the more time he could have had another one. Essentially. So a little bit of a waste for a specialist, especially considering he was just killed by the opposition Annihilator as well. But he's making it work. compLexity now pulling themselves into the lead, 159 to 117 and growing. Team EnVyUs need to try and break on this hardpoint.
Yeah, but again, there's only 15 seconds left, and as you can see, 2 Team EnVyUs players already headed towards that next hill. So again, this second hill really is that money hill on this map, where you can get most of the time in this little shack.
Aches, 21 and 14, trying to control those spawns and push out, but unfortunately didn't really get anything going. Slasher just doing that anchoring role. We saw him do this time last hardpoint, and this is the hill that you said you can pick up a lot of time. And honestly, Team EnVyUs are going to need to hold this one down. Slash has actually jumped on the hill, expected the Lightning Strike to come in, obviously got that call out. Lightning Strike a little bit different than Black Ops 2. It kind of warns you a little bit.
Yeah,
and that was a heads-up play from Slasher.
When they ping in, it says that a Lightning Strike is being pinged, so you have time to run into that building. And I don't really like that usage of the Lightning Strike there. You know, I think they could have used it on a way more open hill. This hill, obviously, you could go inside of it or to the computer building right to the left to hide. So I'm not sure I like that decision from Ricky.
Aches still causing some problems. The score has been reduced a little bit. Still in favor of compLexity there, 196 to 144. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left to play. Hardpoint's going to be contested, and that's going to be a big win from TP, which is going to give EnVyUs a little bit of a lead. Aches going to drop mid-map as well, but he's his specialist. Meanwhile, a bit of a purify going on inside the next hardpoint. This is going to be pretty tough to break.
Yeah, and somebody just dropped the tank down. I'm not sure who that was, but they do have a Cerebus on their side.
Purifier versus Purifier. Aches not able to win that one. It was Miracles able to pick up that kill. But you said someone dropped down a... What did you say it was?
A Cerebus.
A Cerebus?
Yes, I believe it was.
Okay.
I'm trying to see who has one. I believe it's Nameless's.
Nameless
so
has
he's
a
25 and 16 with a minute of hill time, and he did drop a Cerebus. So, you know, that thing can be pesky. It's obviously different if you're not controlling it. It might not go to the area you want, but it could still do a ton of damage.
There it is. Just roaming around the map, and compLexity are completely locking down the mid-map area. 2 minutes 13 to, 212 points to 178 with 3 minutes 30 left. And Nameless, as good a game as he had, has just had an absolute nightmare. He's fallen off the map.
Yeah, and again, compLexity can close it out on this hill. They did have spawns, but they lost it. As you can see, they all spawned out, and now Team EnVyUs does have control of this greenhouse hill.
Question, is Parasite? No, he's finally used his Annihilator. Took him a pretty long time. The kills going in their favor already. JCap at 8 and 25 has really struggled with that VPM.
Yep.
As you mentioned, those SMG bans that came out during Protect and Ban could potentially have really cost him, but the comeback is on. 202 and rising to 219. Can EnVyUs do it? Aches mid-map, trying to get the cuts. There's one, can't find the second. Meanwhile, teammates on the hard point. It's going to be Slasher desperately waiting for his teammates to help him out here. TP getting a big kill outside the hill, and Team EnVyUs about to go back into the lead.
Yeah, and if I'm compLexity, this is my last push. They just got what they didn't want. They want to control this nice hill, because if they're able to control the spawns for this nice hill, you know, they might be able to close the game.
Oh, Slasher with the one bomb of peace there over on Nameless at 24 and 24. They're going to be so close to hitting that 250 mark. Of course, still 3 minutes 26 left.
Yep, and as you can see on your minimap, all of compLexity is set up for this nice hill.
This is going to be a structured push that needs to come in from Team EnVyUs. A couple of kills already going in EnVyUs' favor. It's going to be Parasite on the hardpoint who's going to be pushed. The hardpoint will be contested. The clock's going to start to go down, but really it's not about the time. It is going to be about the score. compLexity about to level things up as well as more kills go in their favor. Parasite's pushed out the back, expecting the push to come in, and this could be compLexity's game mode.
Yeah, and EnVyUs tried using a Lightning Strike to break that hill, but all of compLexity were in that hill. And they need 5 more seconds to win this map.
This should be over. 249, 250. compLexity take game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously very close back and forth. compLexity had a very slow start, but they were able to bring that back.
You see that final kill coming in from Miracles. Nice little headshot there on 2 Aches. Of course, all games best of 3. So do bear that in mind. compLexity now just 1 map away from knocking out Team EnVyUs from the Totino's Invitational. Very close first game of Hardpoint though, Merc. 250 to 242.
Yeah, and all of compLexity putting up good numbers, but on the other side, unfortunately, JCap 10 and 28 with only 40 seconds of hill time. That's not what you want to see from him.
Now, this would be a normal time where casters would sit back and say, yep, you know, that all came down to the ban and protect, where JCap got a